Yep. I know, I'm back on. Crazy as hell, I know. What the hell, huh? What the hell? Can't believe it. I was in bed. So I'm only doing this because... Yeah, I'm back for a second. The reason I'm back now is because I was just at the end of the show let's see, Impale Earth the Monarch, whatever the hell the name is. I just did a show. I don't even know if you guys were watching it, right? But at the end, he said, oh yeah, there's all this other stuff. So I went and took a few minutes. And now, I don't know, I might change my mind on that case, if you can believe that. I actually think that it's possible that that guy didn't do that, which is really weird. Okay? So first of all, look at this. Appeal court approves new trial in the 1987 killing. Okay, this is 2012, right? Yeah. It's wild. So look at this craziness right here. Yeah, so I'm coming back on because I just looked this up, and I actually think this guy might be innocent now. Because you remember when we had the guy on, and I mentioned the other bodies? Well, look at this craziness right here. All right, enough new evidence exists. I mean, they don't do this often. This appeals and then saying, yes, a new trial. Enough new evidence exists to cast doubt on the guilt of a man convicted of killing an 18-year-old woman and hanging her naked body from a tree in 1987. A Wisconsin appeals court said Wednesday. The Second District Court of Appeals upheld the January 2011 decision of a lower court judge offering a new trial for Terry Vollbrecht. There is reasonable probability that a jury, looking at both the old evidence and the new evidence, would have a reasonable doubt as to Vollbrecht's guilt, the appeals court said. So that there was something nagging at me when we were doing that. I was pretty sure it was him, but I was like, like, why did she go with him? So it almost sounded, there was no disputing that she went with him. Hackle was found in the woods outside Sauk City in 1987, shot 3 times in the back and hung by the neck from a tree branch with a chain. A pile of brush was arranged underneath her body in a makeshift pyre. And I thought, well, how would he have known that? But it appears that they'd shown him a picture. The Wisconsin Innocence Project. So when the Innocence Project picks you up, they're pretty, they're feeling like, hey, this is a pretty good chance here of a person being innocent. So let me show you what I'm reading here. The Wisconsin's Innocence Project took up Vollbrecht's case and has worked for more than a decade to free him. The state argued that the new evidence likely would not result in Vollbrecht's conviction being overturned. Attorneys with the State Department of Justice were reviewing the decision to determine whether to appeal to Supreme Court, said DOJ spokesman. Okay, let's see. Vollbrecht's lead attorney, Innocence Project, co-director Keith Findley, said he hoped the department would not appeal. We're obviously very happy, gratified that the court saw to affirm the trial, Judge Findley said. Vollbrecht's attorneys argued that evidence suggests that it was another man. Yeah, this is crazy what we're about to read here, everybody. This is crazy shit right here. Vollbrecht's attorneys argued that the evidence suggests that it was another man, Kim Brown, who killed Hackle. Brown confessed to a similar killing that happened 6 weeks later in Oxford, about 30 miles from where Hackle was found. Like Hackle, Brown's victim, Linda Nick Reiner, which, I mean, we should all remember because that's the one I was reading when that guy was on the phone, and I said, look at the body of Linda Marie Nickreimer of 3691 County Road, blah, blah, blah. They were associating it. Is it possibly related? But the police said, oh, hell, they're not related at all. No, they're not related at all, anybody. Nothing to see here. All right, so let's get back to the article. Brown confessed to a similar killing that happened 6 weeks later in Oxford, about 30 miles from where Hackle was found. Like Hackle, Brown's victim, Linda Nickreiner, listen how similar this is, was in a secluded area, partially clothed, bound and shot in the back. Brown also confessed to having chained her victim, or his victim, to a tree by her neck. I mean, how in the hell did you say they weren't similar enough? They sound absolutely identical. Okay? Brown is serving a life sentence in that case. State investigators decided in 1987 that Nickreiner and Hackle's death weren't similar. Yeah, well, I'm actually back because right after the show, I looked up the information more because, what's his name? I don't remember what his name is. He had a long username. He mentioned that there's a lot of stuff that was more recent. So I said, well, hell, let me go check. But the Innocence Project says prosecutors withheld an affidavit from one of Brown's fellow inmates who claimed that Brown told him he liked to chain women to trees, set them on fire. The Innocence Project also argued that another man in jail with Brown in 1987 said Brown told him it was better to chain them up and when done with them, burn them. In 1992, one of Brown's fellow prison inmates said he overheard Brown say that he raped, shot, and tied Hackle to a tree. Wow. Brown said he was going to set her ablaze, but that the lighter didn't work, according to the Innocence Project. Oh my God. Jesus. So, I thought it sounded like he was pretty guilty at the beginning, and then as I was reading, I thought, well, it sounded like there was a couple angles, but then I settled with, well, he had to have done it. I mean, he's the guy that took her from the bar, right? But maybe he was at the bar too. And he waited for her to be, wasn't waiting for her, but saw her getting dropped off at her vehicle and then made a move. Who knows, right? Because her vehicle was found out there. Yeah, so he was in prison. Let me go back. I'm going to go back to the... oh, hell, there it is. Yeah, this is the one I was reading. So there he is right there. That's what he looks like now. In October, prosecutors reached a deal with Terry Vollbrecht. So to preserve the police's pride, he accepted a second-degree murder plea and was let out on time served. Okay? Because they didn't want to take it to trial because they thought, well, gosh, if he's found not guilty, maybe I don't know. If I was him, I would have taken that same deal. It's now less than the charge he had before, and he's out of jail or prison. But now they're probably going to try to end up seeing if they can prove him innocent. Yeah, so he reached a deal with Terry Vollbrecht, who had been waiting a new trial for his 1989 first-degree murder conviction for the death of an 18-year-old. So he's actually out of prison now. That's what I wanted to tell you guys is that. So he is out. He got out in 2013 in December. So about basically 2014. That's wild. And he's always maintained that same story. The newspaper kept saying that over and over again. Let's see what this one says. Now we're in 2014. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, they're talking about 25 years ago this week. Man, I'm just breathing in this stupid allergy stuff. I think I'm having somebody clean all my vents. Looking forward to it. Alright, let's do a little later then. Let's switch this over to 2015 to 2019. Okay, let's go to his name instead. Terry Vollbrecht. Okay, now we've got something. January 23rd. And now it's saying 25 years ago this week. So in 1992, his lawyers filed a second motion for an appeal of first-degree murder and sexual assault. Wow. They like to do these little 25 years ago today type stories. Well, now I want to look up the other guy. What the hell was his name? Let's see. Let's see. Another man, Kim Brown. Okay. And her name is Reiner. Ah, crap. Right. Let me see that again. Knock and then Reiner. Ah, there you go. Reiner murder trial move. This is actually 1987, so they caught that guy that same year. Man, they could have, you know what, they could have fixed this whole damn thing. I mean, if this, not Reiner, but Kim Brown, that's his name. Had they realized back then, think how many years it would have saved this other guy. Now I can't remember his name because there's so many names now on the screen. Let's see what they say here. "29-year-old Linda Nachreimer will take place in Wood County." Let's see. Including first-degree murder and first-degree sexual assault of Nachreimer. Same charges. Whose partially clothed body was found near her rural Del Prairie home the day after she was missing. She was a mother of 2. That's weird. Okay, this is his story right here. When people around here think of Kim Brown, they picture a large man, 6 feet tall with wide burly shoulders. Except for husky appearance, they say there's little else fearful about the quiet man accused of brutally murdering Linda Nachreiner. Oh, man. Shoot. Yeah, well, I'm going to go take a look more at this. But I thought I'd come on now just because, wow, I mean, things changed so quickly after, just right when I got off the air there, all right? So anyways, I'm going to go drink some water, get away from this air vent here. But anyways, thank you everybody for coming back on for that little quick one there. And until next time, be safe out there.